Hello and welcome back to Trademark Sports YouTube channel. Today we are going to be previewing the Bulldogs season for 2024. If you're a Tigers or a Dragons fan, make sure you go watch those videos. I've already done them. But if you're new here, welcome. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. We're going through all 17 teams. We're going from the bottom of the ladder all the way up to the minor premiers from last year. So we're up to the Bulldogs here. And let's get straight underway. Let's talk about the ins at the Bulldogs and the outs as well. So we might be here for a while because the Bulldogs for some reason have this weird strategy of just moving half the squad every single year. So the ins, look, it starts off pretty handy. Stephen Crichton, don't know if you heard of him. Josh Curran, Farmasili, Drew Hutchinson, Kurt Mann, Jamin Salmon, Blake Taff, Connor Tracy, Jake Turpin and Bronson Xerri. Look, they have recruited well. I have to be honest. Stephen Crichton's a massive get. Josh Curran's a good get. Drew Hutchinson, Kurt Mann, Connor Tracy, Blake Taff, Bronson Xerri, even Jamin Salmon to an extent. I think all these guys are going to be impacting first grade. I'm not too sure about Jake Turpin. I don't really see where he fits in this side. But yeah, look, I think overall the Bulldogs recruitment this year has been A+. I'll give them that for sure. It'd be interesting to see how they all go together and gel together. We'll get onto that a little bit later, but look, I think when you bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players, so Bulldogs always go on about this Bulldogs identity and whatnot. How on earth are you meant to do that when you're bringing in 10 new players every single season? Anyway, move on to the outs. We've got Paul Alamotti, Jake Averillo, Andrew Davey, Kyle Flanagan, Michael Gabriel, Jaden Ockenbaugh, Tavita Pangai Jr., Franklin Pele, Josh Reynolds, Luke Thompson, Corey Waddell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. Effectively, they've had 21 roster changes in an off-season. How on earth are you meant to get any continuity there? And when you're losing guys like Jake Averillo, who I reckon 100% would have wanted to stay at that club, like you lose a bloke who has that Bulldogs DNA, or Paul Alamotti as well. You know, he's only 19 and he's moved to Penrith. Like, they just gave up on him, I feel like. They just didn't let him actually flourish and develop his game. Rather, they just tossed him out the door. Obviously, that's not what just happened, but for me, it just seems very rash. Anyway, we'll move on. So the question marks I have about this squad, I feel like I've already sort of spoken about a little bit, but who actually plays and what does the balance of their squad look like? They've brought in so many utilities. Drew Hutchinson, Kurt Mann, Jamin Salmon, Blake Taff, Connor Tracy. They can all play 3 or 4 positions, and it's a good thing if you get injuries and whatnot, but surely you're not banking on you getting injuries. Like, you don't want that. So they're going to carry 2 utilities on the bench, like play utility at 13. Obviously, it's a question that Phil Gould and Cameron Ciraldo have the answers for, but for me, just look from the outside looking in, I look at that and just go, what are you trying to do? So the other questions I've got is like, and I touched on it a little bit before, but how is a squad supposed to gel with 10 new faces in the door, especially each season? Like, a lot of those guys who just left only came in a year or 2 ago. So I think there's a picture somewhere. The 2021 Bulldogs squad, like from that squad, there's only one player still left there, and it's Raymond Tyler Mariner, and he was pretty much out the door for a second there. So in 3 years, they could have had 30 new players in that club, and I understand results haven't been fantastic, but you look at the Broncos 2020 wooden spoon season, and there's like 6 or 7 players from that season that started last year in that grand final. You go, oh, okay, well, like they had heaps of like good, talented young players there. They've let go of Paul Alamotti and Jake Averillo. So what's your excuse? It's the exact same story. They're just not trusting the process and just going, no, start again, refresh again because we didn't win the comp. It's like, these things have to take time. And I don't know. It's also the first year they had a new coach and everything. Just see how they go. Anyway. The other question is, I have like, who plays halfback in this team? Who's going to be the best halfback for Matt Burton? You got Drew Hutchinson there. You've also got Toby Sexton. Blake Taff could play there. Connor Tracy could even play there. Kurt Mann could play there. Jake Turpin could probably play there. So who is your 7? What are you trying to look for? If you're looking for a more structured 7, I think Drew Hutchinson actually wouldn't be the worst idea. Someone said that to me, and I was like, oh, if you got Drew Hutchinson as your 7, I don't know how you're going to go. But the more I think about it, the better it seems, because this is going to unlock Matty Burton, but we'll see what happens. And another question mark, they've got a great backline. I don't think there's any doubt in that, especially bringing in Stephen Crichton, who has the highest winning percentage out of any player in the competition. But they've just got a seemingly poor forward pack on paper. They've obviously bolstered it there with Josh Curran, but once you delve a little bit deeper than their forward pack, than their starting front rowers and forward pack and whatnot, it's not great viewing. And if they get a few injuries, like they did last season and stuff, but if they get a few injuries, then it's sort of slim pickings there. So, yeah, that does worry me a little bit for the Bulldogs, because like your forwards win you the games and your backs decide by how much. So it's gonna be tough going if you can't win the forward pack battle trying to win a game. But okay, a lot of negatives there. But let's talk about some exciting things. So as I just said before, like you signed the player with the best winning percentage in the competition. He loves winning. He has it ingrained into his DNA. So he's going to deflect that and bleed that through the rest of the squad. You've also you have recruited well. I'll give you that as a fact for Bulldogs fans. There's no doubting that whatsoever, that you guys have recruited well. But speaking of that, let's move into the best 17 that I have for the Doggies. At fullback, this pick's a bit contentious because Stephen Crichton, there's all these reports saying he went there to play fullback. Why on earth would you move the best centre out in the competition out of that position? Blake Taaffe is my fullback there. I think he's electric. He's ready for first grade. Killed it last couple of years in New South Wales Cup. And when he's coming to the NRL as well, he's played really good. He's played in the grand final and stuff. He's a great player, Blake Taaffe, in my opinion. I think he should get that one spot. On one wing, I got Josh Adokar. Obviously, picks himself. You need him in the team there. In the centres, I was sort of touching it before. Stephen Crichton, as I said, he's the best centre in the competition. Why would you not play him there? Then my other centre to start the year, I've got Connor Tracy in that position. I think he's actually quite a good centre. He could play in so many spots, but yeah. The other bloke I do have there's a bit of a question mark to start the season anyway is Bronson Xerri. Just because we haven't seen him play football for 4 years, so we don't know how he's going to go. I think towards the end of the season he'll be good. Honestly, he could even play in the fullback. That bloke is huge at the moment. And then on the other wing, I got Jacob Kiraz again. I think he picks himself. Obviously, you got Blake Wilson there as well, who's really, really handy and a good backup in case Adokar plays Origin or one of those two get injured. But I think Adokar and Kiraz together are a really good wing combination. Moving into the halves, again, Matt Burton picks himself. I don't think there's really much you need to say about that. In the 7, I do have Drew Hutchinson there starting the season. Toby Sexton, albeit he's an okay first grader, I think he might need a bit of time in Cup. I don't know what I feel about Toby Sexton, to be honest. He's certainly not the worst 7 in the competition, but he's also probably not the best either. And then again, Drew Hutchinson isn't as well, but I feel like they just kind of need an experienced head to guide him around the park at the moment. I think that's what the Bulldogs sort of need. We'll move into the 4 pack there. So starting front rowers, they do look a little bit soft up front. Max King and Ryan Sutton as your starting front rowers doesn't fill you with heaps of confidence. If I had got Toke Aho through the door, it would have been a lot nicer viewing. And then my dummy half is Reid Marnie, obviously best dummy half at that club by a mile. Second row is the back row and lock look really, really good. So you get second row, William Kickout on one edge, Jacob Preston on another edge. Sweet, that's awesome. Josh Curran at 13, really good signing. That's a lot of mongrel, a lot of effort, a lot of ticker in those 3 players. That's what you like to see. And then my 14, the utility, there's plenty to choose from. I've got Kurt Mann. I think he's one of the better 13s in the competition, to be honest. What you could do alternatively is play him at 13 and Josh Curran as a front rower. Maybe, I don't know what that does for their effectiveness, but yeah, the way I see it, I think Kurt Mann is their best 14. And then at 15, I've got Curtis Morin. He's for a forward, he's a little bloke, but he plays with so much passion, so much heart, and I love watching him play. So I'd reckon Curtis Morin should be in there. Then at 16, I've got Topinay. I don't know why he hasn't played more first grade. He kills it in New South Wales Cup year in, year out. He's a really, really good footballer. And I don't know why he's not there. He's in my best 17. And every time he has got a crack in first grade, I've been impressed with what he does. So he has to be there for me this season. It's honestly one of the situations where probably now or never for him, in my opinion. And then 17, I have Jamin Salmon. I think he's good off the bench. I mean, he wouldn't have moved from Penrith to the Bulldogs for a bench spot, but I think it's where he might have to play because he can cover your 13, your back rowers, in your halves. Could play outside backs as well. He's a really good guy there if you need that protection. I suppose Kurt Mann can do the same sort of thing, but they're just different players a little bit. But yeah, that is my starting 17. Best 17, I should say, for the Bulldogs. Let me know how you think the Bulldogs are going to go. My prediction for them, I do think they're going to make bottom 4 again, just because there's no continuity in that squad. It's going to take players a while to adjust to the Cameron Ciraldo way. One preseason under him, but you need 2 or 3 before it really starts clicking and gelling, and that's what they're not affording their players at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, for me, the Bulldogs bottom 4. Let me know how you think they're going to go. What do you think about their signings and that sort of thing? If you've liked this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you made it this far in the video, right towards the end, comment Doggies 2024 in the comments, so I know you've made it this far and you're a real one. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.